Welcome along to West Wales Karting Virtual Racing. Today we are at Alton Park using the Clio Cup cars on the PS4 platform. It's a 1.65 mile 6-turn circuit and the cars are ready to go here now as they on the rolling start, coming up to the start line, watching the lights, and they're off. And it's BTCC Dan Holloway who leads the field away in pole position, and Adam Jones, our race winner from round 1, is in second place, following him through turn 1 there. It's Welsh Taff who's up to third place, and then we've got Owens Fab in fourth. Jason Cole is there, he's up to fourth. Owens Fab has spun round and has made contact. Oh, incredible, there's 3 cars at least off there. I think that was Owens Fab, Daddy Cool and Stuart Davis. There he is, recovering off from the grass there. They were all off, not quite sure who caused that, what happened there, but they've certainly lost a lot of time now to the front 4. And we've got Adam Jones here looking at Dan Holloway for the lead now. This is the battle for the first place, and Welsh Taff is in third position, keeping tabs on them as they're still on lap 1, and Jason Cole's in fourth position, 5 seconds away. But that was a bit of a messy start there. We had a few cars off on the green stuff, but thankfully we have still got some cars on the grey stuff up front, and they come round now to complete lap 1, heading on to lap 2. So we got Dan Holloway, Adam Jones, Welsh Taff, Jason Cole, Owens Fab, Daddy Cool and Stuart Davis down in 7th position. He's struggled to get a handle on this track. This is a very undulating circuit with some high curbs in places, blind corners. It's a very challenging technical circuit, not all that wide either, as you can see here, riding on board with Adam Jones, who of course won the first race. Dan Holloway was starting from the front row in our previous race we had with the PS4 console in these cars. But he had a terrible start last time, but this time he's got a very clean start and he's up there in first place at the moment. And there's Welsh Taff. He's actually looks like he's closing in a bit. Oh, a bit of oversteer there, bit of drifting, fantastic. That's what we like to see. He's really given it all to keep pace with the front 2. And there's Daddy Cool, who had a bit of a shocker on the last round, but he's doing well at the moment. He's up in 5th position. And who's that in the background? I think that's Owens Fab. He had a bit of a tank slapper coming off the hill there, coming onto the straight, but he's recovered. He didn't spin round the wrong way. He's still facing the right direction, which is something, and he's still ahead of Stuart Davis. So I'm not sure what Stuart Davis is doing at the moment. He's quite happy just going round in 7th at the moment, but we'll see. Maybe he's got a secret strategy. We'll see what happens. Of course, as in all of these races, they have to come in for 1 mandatory pit stop, and we'll see who's going to be coming in first. It could be a battle of strategy. Oh, and there's Welsh Taff off. I think that's Welsh Taff conceding a position there to Jason Cole. So Jason Cole now is up into 3rd place. Welsh Taff is in 4th. And Jason is 7 and a bit seconds off the leading 2. And there's Owens Fab there. He's having a go at Daddy Cool. Daddy Cool can see him in his mirrors. He's defending like his life depends on it. Oh, and Owens Fab is off again. He's really drifting that car a lot out, and he's in the gravel trap. Now he's on the grass. He's trying to find his way back. There he is. He's back on now. But he's lost a lot of time. There's Jason Cole there we're looking at. And at the front it's still close. There's half a second between the 2 leading pair. And there's Jason Cole off a bit. Oh, he's spun. Jason Cole is in the barrier. He's hit the barrier on the inside of the circuit and he's dropped down back behind Welsh Taff. It looks like these cars are quite tricky to handle on this circuit. Despite being front-wheel drive, they've got a very tail-happy rear end. So I think the moment you push a little bit too hard, as Stuart Davis was saying actually after the last race, as soon as you push a little bit too hard, as soon as you be a bit greedy with getting some lap time, they tend to bite you. So it's actually better to be a little bit patient. And Dan Holloway is being patient there. He's taken a good line, and perhaps Adam Jones is being patient in terms of his thinking of getting past Dan at some stage. They're very evenly matched though. Dan is a little bit faster on the last lap by a couple of tenths. So we ride on board now with Adam Jones on the bumper. Very successful driver, of course. Karting Autograss. And there's Stuart Davis now, he's looking at the back of Owen's Fab, he's caught up to the back of him. But Owen's Fab is having a less than fab time out there right now, unless he wants to be cutting some grass. He's been off on the green bit quite a bit, but he's got a lot of pace, and we'll see if he can get back up to the front. Stuart Davis knows that too, so maybe he can hang with him and they can both make their way back up to the front. And then we look back at the leaders, it's come back down to half a second, so there's nothing much in it between them. They're just varying 1 or 2 tenths a lap. And this will be a lot of pressure for Dan Holloway out in the lead here. But he really wants to win this one after throwing away the last race at the first corner. He really came back through the field quickly though. He had a fantastic comeback drive, but he really wants to win this one. But so does Adam Jones. So do all of these drivers. Very competitive animals are these racing drivers. Daddy Cool there is one of them. He's in 5th position and he's defending very hard from Owen's Fab again. Oh, Daddy Cool is off. He's doing his own bit of rallycross there, and I think that's going to concede the position to... Yes, it's conceding the position now to Owen's Fab, who takes the inside line. Had more momentum coming at the last corner, and he's got it. He's into 5th place. Daddy Cool is down to 6th. And next in his mirrors will be Stuart Davis. And now we look back at the battle for the lead. It's very close now. As we go round on lap 6, this is Adam Jones' first real opportunity we've seen to overtake Dan Holloway since the start. As they brake hard now. And Dan Holloway's defending the inside, but Jones has cut back through for the inside, coming out of the corner, and they're side by side now going over the start-finish line as we start lap number 7. And Adam Jones is just ahead, and he's got him. He's in front even by the time they've reached the corner. He was able to even cheekily get back onto the racing line. Oh, there's an incident there. That's Stuart Davis, who's tried to go around the outside of Daddy Cool, but it didn't actually quite work that time. And I think Stuart Davis would have thought that would be a pretty Daddy Cool pass, but unfortunately Daddy Cool would not allow it. But Daddy Cool is a very, very good defender. He's no easy person to pass at all. And Stuart Davis, of course, he likes a lunge or two, as we've seen. And oh, they're both off a little bit. Oh, that's Daddy Cool, he's lost it, he's in the barrier. That's what Jason Cole did just a couple of laps ago. He's in the barrier. Is he I think he's back. Yeah, there he is. He's recovering again now. It's good to see him getting going again. But that's going to hurt his race a lot. He's down in 7th now. 7th and last position out of the 7 runners we've got here today. One more than last time where we had 6 runners. So Stuart Davis is in 6th. And this is the battle now for 4th and 5th between Welsh Taff and Owen's Fab. And that's Welsh Taff running a little bit wide. Oh no, that's Jason Cole, I'm sorry. I got it all wrong. Bit of a Murrayism there. There's Jason Cole. This is battle for 3rd and 4th between Jason Cole and Welsh Taff. And now Welsh Taff is having a look down the inside. He didn't quite make it. Jason Cole made the error there. And Jason Cole's made another error. He's running very wide, but I think he's managed to keep the momentum onto the track. So a fantastic battle going on for 3rd and 4th, and we've also got a fantastic battle going on up ahead for 1st and 2nd. Action everywhere. A little bit of drifting, as we see again with these cars. Welsh Taff. And now this is the battle for the lead. Dan Holloway versus Adam Jones. Dan Holloway is keeping with Adam Jones after he made that pass. As you can see, riding on board now with Dan. He's given it everything. So Adam Jones now, it's his turn to take some of the pressure. You see Dan Holloway looking around there. I don't know if he's looking at the scenery or if he's looking in his mirrors to see if there's anyone behind him. Because it's quite a scenic circuit as they go. This track used to be a park with extensive gardens before it was turned into a racetrack. And now we're riding on board with Adam Jones. Became a racetrack in 1953, and just by its second race had a crowd of 40,000, which shows its popularity. I don't know if we'll get 40,000 watching this race, but it should be, because it's an absolute thriller. And there's Adam Jones now in 1st place. Dan Holloway is closing in. And who's that in the pits? I think we've got Stuart Davis there, definitely. And there was another driver in the pits. It's Welsh Taff. They're both exiting the pits now, so Welsh Taff has made his pit stop, Stuart Davis has made his pit stop. And they're back down in 5th and 7th with Daddy Cool separating them. Meanwhile, up ahead, I think the gap has extended to just over a second, so maybe Dan Holloway had made a mistake there. He's dropped back a second, which doesn't seem a lot, but in these cars on this circuit, it's actually quite hard to make a second back. Unless you do that, of course. And that was Daddy Cool going past the Welsh Taff. The Welsh Taff made a bit of an error there. So they head up the hill now. Defending Daddy Cool. He's having a lot of time looking in his mirrors in this race. In that white and red car. And now that's Welsh Taff. He's looking down the inside and they're side by side now going down the hill. Now who's going to break the latest? Daddy Cool tries to go around the outside, but he didn't quite have the speed to do that. But he's going to tuck back in for the slipstream now as they head onto the main straight to start their 10th lap. So Welsh Taff has taken that position. He's up to 5th position. Daddy Cool in 6th. Stuart Davis is still in 7th. Despite his excursions, Owen's Fab is in 4th position. And he's about 11 seconds behind Jason Cole. Jason Cole's in a bit in no man's land in this race at the moment. He's a good gap to the cars in front and a good gap behind him as well. So he'll be pushing hard to try and catch the front two though, of course, Jason Cole, who's a very successful driver as well. All these drivers are very fast in real life at the West Wales karting circuit. And there's Dan Holloway, he's falling back another half a second behind Adam Jones. Lap number 11 now, so Daddy Cool now in 6th position is being closed in on by Stuart Davis in 7th position. He's just a couple of seconds now ahead, so a couple of seconds separating them. Stuart Davis pushing hard there in the back, we can see. Daddy Cool clipping the apex with the rear just hanging out just a little bit to get some rotation into the corner. Oh, and there's a car off there, that's Welsh Taff. He's lost it, he's completely off the road. Not sure what happened there, we just caught up with it. So Welsh Taff now, he's about to be lapped by the two leading cars. As you can see, that's Adam Jones closing in on him, and just behind that with the lights on we can see Dan Holloway. So this will be interesting. Will Welsh Taff just concede if he's being lapped? And that's Daddy Cool. He's off the track again. He's in the gravel, but he's got back on now. Perhaps it was a strategy of his to let the leaders pass through, but it certainly cost him a lot of time. And that's Adam Jones now the leader. He's coming around to start lap number 13 with Dan Holloway chasing him all the way. I wonder when these two drivers are going to pit. Will they pit on the same lap? It's always hard when you're in a race situation. It depends on a lot of circumstances, how fast your tyres are going off, what your driving style is, how much fuel you're carrying, as to when you actually pit. Of course, if you pit right near the end, you're going to have a quicker stop possibly because you have less fuel to take on, and that's Stuart Davis off the track a bit there. Dan Holloway goes through, so you have a quicker stop, but you pay the price because in the laps preceding your pit stop you would have had to endure a lot of worn tyres. And that's Welsh Taff off again. He's on the grass. I think this grass is being used more than the racetrack at the moment, but these cars can deal with it. Nimble, agile little machines. And there's Jason Cole. Jason Cole, oh, he's off as well. He's off. Oh, he's in the barrier, but he's not. He's managed to not spin it, and he's back on the circuit now. Just shows you how hard these cars are to drive here, with calibre of drivers going off left, right and centre. It's unusual to see this many errors from these drivers, but it's making for an exciting race now. And there's Owens Fab is in 4th position. Some of these drivers will be communicating with each other on the mic, of course. Others will have their mic turned off. There's Dan Holloway, BDCC Dan from the Xbox, of course, same driver. Now Stuart Davis, who's just been lapped, he's looking at the leading two. Perhaps he can try and follow their line a bit, see where he's losing time compared to them. And that will help him in his fight for 5th position with Daddy Cool and Welsh Taff. And you could also include Owens Fab in that too, because he's not that far up the road from Stuart Davis. But we've only got 6 laps left to run here now, lap 15 of 21. I'm riding on board with Dan Holloway, and he's very close now. Look at this, very, very close to Adam Jones as Adam Jones goes defensive. Dan Holloway there, fantastic shot from the bumper. You can see that right at the back of Adam Jones's car. See how it's moving around, spotting for any of the weaknesses that you can try and exploit to get past, but Adam Jones has very few weaknesses. But Dan Holloway is a fantastic driver, and he's looking now for any opportunity he can take to get past. In the green machine. Green and white, I should say. Oh, a bit of a Scandinavian flick there into the corner. Dan Holloway, oh, he's got a great exit, but it's not quite enough to claw alongside Adam Jones. But Adam Jones certainly knows he's there. Will he have a lunge as we go into the 16th lap into turn 1? It's not quite close enough this time round. Runs a bit wide, but that allows you to carry momentum if you do that in that corner. So head down now through Cascades into Foster's. Turn 5. It's a great onboard shot. Dan Holloway really pushing hard to stay with Adam Jones and potentially overtake him. Just keep pressure rising. Hard on the brakes there. I think we're just going to wait here to see if there's going to be a lunge or not. But that's Dan Holloway just going a little bit wide, and now he's lost all that momentum he built up, so he's falling back now to over a second. It only takes a little mistake like that, and you've lost all the hard work and momentum you've built up in the last couple of laps, and you have to do it all again. So not great news for Dan Holloway there, but it will give Adam Jones a bit of breathing space up ahead. They both haven't pitted yet. There's Owens Fab, he's still in 4th position. He's 51 seconds off the lead. He's 11 seconds ahead of Stuart Davis. That gap has come down a little bit. But he's quite a bit behind the last podium position with Jason Cole in 3rd. 26 seconds behind him. Number 59 car, Owens Fab. And Owens Fab is a keen karter as well. Now back with the leaders. Dan Holloway is closing in on Adam Jones. It's a fantastic battle for the lead, race-long battle. Lap 17 of 21 now, only a few laps to go. They're both going to need to pit at some point soon. Oh, and that's Dan Holloway, he's in the pits. That's quite surprising. I thought he was going to leave it until the very last but one lap, if I'm honest. And Dan Holloway is in the pit lane. And who else is that? I think, is that... who else was that? Was that Owens Fab? I think it was. Owens Fab is also in the pits. There he is. Exiting now. You can see in the background the green and white car of Dan Holloway. He's exiting the pits too. And that's Welsh Taff rounding the first corner. Up on the curve. Out wide, carrying the momentum. He's in 6th position. And Dan Holloway is back out on the circuit. So Adam Jones now, he needs to not make any mistakes for his race chances to make it 2 from 2 race wins. He knows that he'll have a bit of a buffer in that he's about a second before they came into the pits ahead of Dan Holloway, and he's not pitting this lap. As you can see, he's going round to start lap number 19 now. Oh no, there he is pitting, very late call. Oh, drifting into the pit lane, very lucky didn't get disqualified for that. So can so easily be done on this game, is to enter the pits a little bit too quick and you get disqualification. We've seen it with our IndyCar races in Xbox. So Adam Jones then, he's in the pit and you can see that gap there on the graphic. There's Dan Holloway coming down. Oh, Dan Holloway's been really held up here by Owens Fab. He was really held up there. And that's Adam Jones exiting the pits now, so how far ahead will he be if he is going to be ahead? And quite a bit, look at that. And Dan Holloway, he's only going around turn 1, and Adam Jones is already halfway up the next straight. So he's over 4 seconds ahead now, so that's about 3 seconds swing from the last time they were together on the circuit before they made their stops. And we're on lap 18 of 21, and now Owens Fab, as you can see, he's in 6th position. Dan Holloway, he still hasn't passed him, so this has really cost Dan Holloway a chance at the win. But Owens Fab, of course, he's having his own battle with the Welsh Taff, who was just up ahead, just a second up ahead. There you saw him flash through our screen in the foreground. And Dan Holloway still really pushing hard, look. Up on 2 wheels, coming onto the straight. But his hopes are ebbing away now because he's only got another couple of laps to go. There's Welsh Taff, 1 minute behind the race leader. He's 17 seconds behind Stuart Davis, who's in 4th position. Jason Cole is in 3rd. Oh, and there's Welsh Taff, he's off on the grass. Perhaps he's got the all-terrain tyres on, maybe he finds a bit more speed out there using that line. And Stuart Davis, he's certainly got the slicks on, he's finding a lot of grip there, look, going around the corner. It's always interesting to see how the cars moved, different drivers, different styles, a bit more oversteer for some. And in these cars, which are a little bit, well, they're not slow, but they're not the fastest cars in the game either. And you need to really carry that momentum through the corners and not overdrive them. But you also need that rotation, and they tend to understeer. As you can see with Jason Cole, he understeered a bit there. Thought he was going off then. But no, he's back, he's on the circuit. And some of the drivers like to kick out the back end a little bit more than others. And Owens Fab now, he's certainly been kicking his back end out a lot in this race. But he's down in 6th position. And Adam Jones has started his last lap now. He's going to take this win. He's 4.5 seconds ahead of Dan Holloway, the number 16 car there of Adam Jones, who won our first race with the PS4 in the same cars back at Knock Hill, which was a fantastic race as well. Going up over the rise, blind crest. It's a real roller coaster of a circuit, this. Fantastic venue for racing. And he's coming now down the hill, over the crest, under the bridge for the last time. And you can see in the background there, Dan Holloway still hasn't passed, still hasn't lapped Owens Fab. So he's going to be 2nd, but our winner today is Adam Jones, who takes the win. Jonesy 1st position, 4.5 seconds ahead of Dan Holloway, who finishes in 2nd position. Jason Cole will be coming home in 3rd place, but he's 29 seconds off the lead. There he is. He's had a bit of a quiet race, but solid, getting on with it. He's had consistent laps. Bit of a mistake at the beginning, which ruined his hopes of keeping tabs with the front 2. And not the best qualifying either, but nevertheless a strong result. 3rd position for Jason Cole. And we look back now, 30 seconds behind for Stuart Davis, who started in last, but he's made his way up to 4th, so a decent recovery drive. There he is, still giving it his all. Stuart Davis off the road in the last corner, and now he's back on the straight and he's coming home in 4th position. And behind that we have Welsh Taff in 5th, who is having a very close battle with Owens Fab in 6th, and Daddy Cool rounds it out in 7th place. Join us again.